Next up, we have engineered air balance. Engineered air balance is a leading authority in total system balancing and building commissioning at the forefront of the industry standards and training. Their state-of-the-art training center in Houston, Texas offers instructor-led classes with hands-on demonstrations, providing enhanced technical learning opportunities. And today, get a special sneak peek at their training facilities. We have Justin Garner and his colleague Derek that's going to give us a quick view for 15 minutes.
Welcome everyone to the Engineered Air Balance Training Center. We're in the Houston area and we are delighted today to give you guys a tour of our state-of-the-art training facility and tell you a little bit more about our training courses for TAB, commissioning professionals, building owners, design professionals, and so many others. I'm Justin Garner. I'm our Vice President of Engineered Air Balance, and I oversee our Houston operations. I have Derek Glenn here with me today. Derek runs our training center here, and he'd be your point of contact if you're interested in any of our courses or holding any events here. So we're going to go ahead and get this going, and we're just going to move through and kind of give you a virtual tour here. So the first thing we're going to cover is our training classroom. And you may be saying, well, your classroom's just like anyone else's, right? But we're going to show you the really good stuff here in a little bit. We do cover classroom material in our training sessions, but what we really built this facility for is hands-on training. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here. We're going to quickly get you guys out to the back where we can show you the really fun stuff. But I want to kind of show you what we've got in here. What we're real proud of, and we just installed it this week, is this company timeline to kind of give you a history of EAB. EAB is the oldest and largest testing, adjusting, and balancing independent firm in North America. We were founded in 1956, and we've had a storied history as we go through. I don't have time to go through in detail today, but if you want more information, go on our webpage, please, or contact us directly, and we'd be happy to tell you about it. But we've had some firsts. We got to work on Titan II missile silos back in the Cold War era. We've worked in nuclear power plants. We've pioneered testing in the laboratory and healthcare markets. And moving into the late 80s, we were instrumental in helping out to do some very large real-world testing to modify smoke control system designs in large facilities. So that's what you see with these fires over here. We were working in a correctional facility and in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Moving into the 2000s, we do a lot of work in research facilities. And really that's when building commissioning was born here at EAB, at least outside of HVAC, right? And we formed our own dedicated in-house building commissioning team. And then that's when we really branched out. And so we have two services up till here recently. We were a test and balance firm and building commissioning firm. Fast forward to 2018, and we wanted to build this training center. We wanted to provide a service not only to our company, but also to the entire industry. We saw a need to provide some very high quality technical training. And we're looking forward to having a lot of folks come in here and share this training with us. So I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to turn you over to Derek, and we're going to move down the hall and go to the fun area of the facility.
Thanks, Justin. As you said, training is basically this entire facility's goal. Hands-on is so important that we can't really tell you as much as we can show you. So we put a lot of time, effort, and skill into putting together a host of training aids. So as you can see right here, we have a traverse station. So we have oval, round, and rectangular duct. So we're also able to give a lot of different scenarios to our trainees and show them where a good place to take that measurement is and where a bad place is and what actually occurs in different places. In addition, we do rotational measurements for tachometers and things like that. A big thing here is safety. So every time they go through one of the training classes, we tell them exactly how the best way to do it, the safe way to do it, and then we show them proper equipment they need to have as well. As you can also see, we have a host of different VFDs so that they can learn not just on ours, but not just on one brand, but on many brands. And you'll see that echoed through this entire facility because we want to show a wide variety of different parts, pieces, so that they don't get stuck on one thing and only knowing one portion. For that, we also have mushroom fans. So they can take measurements off of that and take tacks off of that as well. We also, for our hydronic station, we have a standard VFD-driven pump and also a centralist pump. So they get to experience that as well. Next, we have our hydronic stand. It's 11 stations. We have manual valves, auto flow valves, and PIC valves. As you see, it's pretty big. So what they experience is just the drop in, they're able to take the differential pressure and see what it's like and balance the system out. Last but not least on this, we have our shiv station. Here they get to measure the shivs, make adjustments, make changes, and learn how to properly do that in a safe environment. So I'll let you go to Justin.
Thank you, Derek. Another aspect of this facility that's not necessarily directly tied to training, but we can tie it in, is our testing laboratory. And if you're familiar with EAB at all, you know that we kind of pioneered independent laboratory control system testing. We're very well known in the critical environment sector for providing that testing and writing a lab testing protocol that's well known throughout the industry. And so I want to show you guys our test lab here. We're real proud of it. We can test a range of terminal units and air devices. Obviously, we use it for calibration of some of our instrumentation as well. But we have capabilities on both supply, cold deck and hot deck, as well as exhaust, general exhaust, and we have fume hood capabilities. And we can test, well, we can actually do fume hood testing in here. We can do containment testing, and we're going to be training how to do fume hood and biosafety cabinet certifications in the future. So stay tuned with us on that, and we hope you enjoy this facility. I'm going to turn you back over now to Derek, who's going to take you up on our mezzanine so you can kind of see some of the inner workings of the equipment that supports the front and this laboratory area of the facility, and see some of the hands-on things that you can cover up there.
So we'll just show over here real quick. So right here we have our 4 fans for the lab. Over here we have our air VAVs, or our air valves, for the training room. Those are so we can teach how to use the proper ways for using the flow hoods and how to take measurements and balance out systems. Now right here we have our chill water VAV, and we take measurements right here. We show them how it works and the functionality and anything that has to do with those. So over here we have our ERU, so we can train on that as well. We've put a see-through siding on it so that you can actually see the functionality and how it's put together, so you can understand the whole concept behind it. And this is a little different. We've actually taken an outside air DX unit, and we put a plenum around it and vented it to the outside. So you can actually come inside and learn how to use these systems without any issues or having to worry about weather or that like. So we'll pass it on to Justin.
Great, thank you, Derek. All right, we wanted to check our audio there. Sorry about that hiccup earlier. The last part that I want to show you in the facility, most of this has been mechanical, right? Because we are a testing and balancing firm, but we're also a building commissioning firm. And so we wanted a way to be able to train not only our commissioning professionals, but also yours as well. And so we invested heavily in some very large electrical power systems for this type of facility. We have 2 generators out back, 2 diesel generators out back, and we partnered up to put with the manufacturer to put a very large paralleling gear system in here. So we did a unique application here. Normally in a facility, this control panel would be tucked away probably inside of an electrical room, right? But we didn't want to have to go into that unsafe environment in order to be able to teach. So we put all the controls out here where we can have a class space. And if you step over here, you can see that we put a protective barrier here. This is impact resistant glass, where you can see what's happening inside the electrical room. You can see the switchgear there in the middle and the breakers opening and closing. You can see on the left-hand side here, we have a bypass transition. These are actually closed transition ATSs, and then we have a regular commercial ATS over on the right. And so you can actually host a class, have the attendees of the class out here, demonstrate the full functionality of these systems, but have everyone in a safe environment and really in a more quiet environment where we can have that interaction between the instructor and the attendees. So we're really excited about this facility. We're really excited about getting some of these other classes up and going, especially on the electrical side. And so I would encourage you, if you're interested in any of our training courses, please visit our webpage and please contact Derek Glenn if you're interested in signing up for them. So we're going to turn it back over to Sam now and let her get into the Q&A portion of this session. Thank you.
Thank you both. Just echoing things in the comments, very impressive facilities, looks amazing. We do have a few questions lined up here, but before I jump into that, Engineered Air Balance is giving a giveaway, and they're giving away a Tab Technician Fundamentals course that's valued at $2,000. And this includes 20 hours of classroom instruction time and 15 hours of hands-on instruction time. So if you're interested in this and you want this course to be yours, you know how to do it. Comment Engineered Air Balance rocks in the chat box, and we'll doing the drawing after the Q&A. And good luck, everyone. So the first question, do you have any thoughts on ultrasonic flow measurements to minimize outages?
Ultrasonic flow measurements. Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that. Sam, let me make sure you can hear me okay, right?
Sounds great.
Great, thank you. It's more of a technical question. We're happy to answer it. I'm going to put a training spin on it though, right? One thing, when you noticed our hydronic station earlier, not only do we have ultrasonic technology that we use for flow measurement at each individual zone in that station, but we also teach how to use portable ultrasonic devices as part of our training. I have a feeling that question's more geared toward the more of a permanent application of that technology. And I'd be happy to discuss that with whoever asked offline. But when it comes to training, we do teach all of the technologies. And that's one unique aspect of our training, is that we're trying to cover the entire realm of what a technician or a commissioning provider may see in the field. So I hope that helps. And if they want more, tell them to contact me directly.
Great. Well, yes, the next question was, do you train on airflow station calibrations after measurements are verified?
So that's a very good question. What we train on is tab fundamentals, and we're going to get into more advanced applications. One of those, and we're going to have a controls verification course as well coming up. And part of that will entail verifying airflow measuring stations. Just to ask, do you train on how to set up an airflow measuring station? It's not an easy answer, right? You've got to understand tab fundamentals. You've got to understand how to measure airflows in different applications. And you've got to understand all the various technologies that are used in the various airflow monitoring stations that are on the market. We plan to teach all of that. It may not be in one course, but we would encourage you to look at our fundamentals course to really learn and do a deep dive on test and balance fundamentals, which will teach you how to measure airflow and use that instrumentation to independently verify those sensors. And then, of course, our controls class will go very deep dive into controls and how you would bring those sensors in and use them as part of a comprehensive BAS strategy.
Wonderful. And does EAB offer training videos or any virtual training, or is this all in person?
Great question. We really have set up this facility to be an in-person facility. We want folks to come here. We want to be able to have that hands-on, one-on-one aspect with our instructors and the interaction. Obviously, in the times we're in right now, that's a little tough, and we understand that, but we're hopeful that things are going to start getting better. We have already conducted classes this year. We practice social distancing. We've done a lot of the protocols that are mandated, and I think we've done a great job so far. We're hoping as we start coming out of this pandemic, and we can't predict when that may be, that those are going to get easier and people are going to be more willing to travel. But we've already had folks here from all over the country. With that being said, we do have a YouTube channel. We are putting snippets of our training out there on YouTube, but we really want folks to come here. We don't really plan on doing any virtual training sessions. We want you in person. so that we can train you in person and really give that in-depth interaction.
Wonderful. This next attendee is asking, do you have classes that would be suitable for technician certification preparation?
Why don't you cover that?
Yeah, so our fundamentals class is our only class right now. The other ones are in development. But we have seen a lot of the people have come through. They're coming in with anywhere from 3 months of experience to 2 to 3 years of experience. And even the folks who have come in with 2 to 3 years of experience have learned a lot and walked away. Well, initially they walked in thinking they were fully prepared to go and take the ABC technician test. But they walked away with a better understanding of what they needed to do and what they needed to do to get to that point, because they weren't quite there yet. So anyone on the spectrum will get a little bit or a lot of the class as long as they just put the time in there.
Wonderful. And last question, someone's asking, I heard that ABC members might get a discount on your training courses. Is that true?
That is true. We offer a 20% discount for our AABC members.
Yeah, and I want to tag onto that because it was just finalized this week. We are now the endorsed provider of training through AABC. We have a memorandum of understanding with the board of AABC, and we are the preferred EAB training is the preferred training provider, technical training provider for AABC members, and obviously we'd like to extend that to others. But as part of that, we offer a 20% discount on any courses for AABC members.
Perfect. I'm going to slip in one last question here. Do you have any openings in your May class?
We have a few, not a whole lot though. And there's a couple feelers out. So if you want to get in the class, you need to let me know pronto. So
Okay.
Yeah, you want to go through the schedule real quick of the other classes?
yeah, so we're taking June off, and then we're going to have one class a month all the way up until December. So July through November, we're going to have classes. So if you want to get in, let us know, and we'll get you scheduled.
Perfect. Thanks you so much. You heard it from them. If you want to get involved in this class, time to pull the trigger.